Hi friends, it's Nicole. Welcome back to my channel. Today I am sharing a process video of an art journal spread I created for a cherry on top this month. I felt like playing in the journal and I just bought some butterfly stamps and wanted to play with those. And to begin, I'm going to use the Duo acrylic markers to just slap down the color, and there's no right or wrong way of doing this. I'm just kind of just filling in the white space. And I do plan on using greens, yellows, or greens and blues for the spread, so that's why I decided to go with the green and teal for the background. And then I was going to add some pink in there, but I decided not to do that. I want to keep it kind of like cool colors, and so this looks like the colors that I want. So I'm just going to fill in all the white with the marker. No right or wrong way of doing this. And it drives me crazy to have that white on the spine, so I try and put, color that in as well. And so then I'm looking for a sheet of paper. I'm actually going to stamp the butterfly on the pattern paper and then fussy cut it out. But first, I really like the dots, so I need to stamp this on the actual page first. Okay, but I'm going to show you, but I'm going to use this part of the paper because I wanted a blue butterfly. So here is what I mean. So I didn't want to just fussy cut the butterfly and put it on a journal, because then I wouldn't get all the little polka dots. So I'm going to just go ahead and do this, and then I'm going to just use that as my base, like so that I know where to place the butterfly. So I'm just going to fussy cut it out carefully, and I'm just being very careful not to cut the butterfly the wings off. So I'm just going to cut this down very careful, and you do want sharp scissors to do this so that your images are crisp. And then I'm gonna glue this right on top of there. Okay. And this glue is from Pinkfresh Studio. I just picked it up just to give it a try. I have so many different types of glue. I like it. It's very good. So I'm going to put that down, and then I need to stamp down the sentiment. I'm going to do this in like a purpley color, like a fuchsia. And I'm going to put that down there and just press down carefully not to smear it. And then later on, when I ended up tracing over the stamp sentiment because it seemed a little light, but you don't need to do that. I'm just extra. So now I'm going to look for some gems so that I can glue it to the center of the butterfly. And I'm just using different colors like purple, turquoise, and blue, since those are the colors I'm using. And then I'm just going to glue them down. I was just going to do the Nouveau glue because of the fine tip. For some reason it's not working. I think it's clogged. So then I went and grabbed my Pinkfresh, and I was just worried that the nozzle was too big, but no, it's actually perfect. So we're going to go with that. Alright, and then I am trying to think of what else to do. I'm going to add some color in the polka dots because I stamped it with black ink, and I kind of want to add some pink in there. I'm going to add some pink dots between the black dots just to add a little bit more color. And then I'm going to grab the blue and the green and do the same thing. And then I was just going to edge the butterfly with a little bit of white just to brighten around the butterfly a little bit. And there it is. And then I also wasn't happy with the white space at the top. I just felt like it was missing something. So now I'm going to cut out these postal stamps from the pattern paper and just random images at first I was paying attention to the images and it didn't really matter because the whole point is just to make a collage at the top. And again, I fuss at everything I do. So I am just going to cut these down and place them at the top, and I'm just going to go with it. Alright, and like I said, this glue is great. I love it. And then I'm going to add some more up there, just to brighten it up a little bit. And there's that. And then I got to be careful on the bottom. I don't have a whole lot of space to fill it in, but I felt like if the top was going to be a collage, the bottom needed to be somewhat the same. I'm just using tiny pieces for the bottom just to line up some strips. And it kind of worked out. I kind of like it. And then I'm going to add some string. I wasn't sure how I was going to put the string on here because I didn't want to staple it and then it comes through the other page on the back. But then I didn't like the way that was going to work if I tied it on the bottom. So then I was going to do wrap it around the spine. But so then I just decided I'm going to go ahead and staple it. It's an art journal. It's for me. It's not a big deal. So, and you can barely tell on the other side because of all the color. And it's supposed to be fun. So there it is. And then the second page, I had a hard time with this page. I should have just stopped with the first one and just took a rest. But I felt like I had to fill in the right side. And so now I'm just slapping down some color. And really I should have thought about what I was doing before I did it because I wasted all this marker and I'm going to end up covering it with pattern paper. So that's just something to think about. Like, just take a moment to really think about what you want to do. If you're going to use pattern paper, tear the paper and figure out how big of a size you're going to use so that you can just cover just the area that you want with the marker and save yourself the product. Don't do what I did. Learn from my mistakes. So then I'm trying to figure out what side I'm going to use. I'm going to use I like this pattern, and I think it looks nice with the left side. I'm going to cut this down a little bit so that I can place it at the top, and I'm going to glue it down. Alright, and the glue flows really nice out of that bottle. I just like it. It's so easy. Alright, and then I was going to stamp this down, the sentiment, but I'm going to wait. And then I don't even know why I put the marker there. I think I was just trying to do some color, and I just don't like how that looks. And then I'm like trying to brighten it up a little bit because I totally messed up on the bottom. Yes, like I said, this page did not go too well. But I think I'm going to make up for it. And then I'm going to stamp the sentiment down on the bottom here to try and cover up the mess that I did. And I was going to do 2. Right, and it's just like a mess. Just bear with me, because you're probably like, what are you doing? But like I said, I don't have a real plan when I do these. So I'm going to stamp the butterfly down, and it wasn't a clear image, and I made a mistake. So just be mindful when you're stamping right on your page. You need to press all the areas, which I did not. So now I'm going to just stamp it on the paper, fussy cut it, and then glue it down to cover my mistake. And I am just going to cover it up. So at least you would learn a couple of tips from me during my process, what not to do. And then I'm going to do another butterfly, stamp it on the paper this time, and just fussy cut it. It takes a little bit of time, but it's so much worth it than just stamping on the actual page and having what happened to me and then having to do it all over again. Like, this spread took me like an hour and 20 minutes because of all the mistakes I had. And then I'm going to just color in some of the images on the butterfly with the markers just to add some color. And then I'm going to glue this on the center of the butterfly, because that butterfly I feel like it needed something. It was not, I don't know, it just wasn't doing it for me. And then I'm going to add a gem on there and glue this down. Still not happy with it. So I'm just going to keep moving and then figure it out as we get to the end of this. So I like the hearts. I'm going to glue, stamp down some hearts. Those are pretty. And then I'm going to add that. I'm just having fun here. And then eventually it'll come together. I'm going to add some circles at the top. I figured they would be pretty at the top if I stamped them and then color them in, just to, you know, add some shape at the top there. And I actually love how that turned out. It's kind of cool. And so I'm just dotting down the marker because those circles are so tiny. I don't want to smear it. So I'm just going down and up with the marker. That's it. And it's just random. I don't have any real plan. I just want to add some color in the circles. And the markers really brighten it up. So, and then I'm going to add some color on the edges there. If you wanted to, you could add some acrylic over the stamped images and just use the stamped image as your area to trace along, if you know. But it ended up coming off as I was working, but it's no big deal. And then I'm actually trying to figure out what else I'm going to do here. I'm just going to use my black pen and add some doodling scribbles all over. And then I'm still not happy with the butterfly. It's driving me crazy. So I went ahead and looked through my die cuts and found something, and I'm just going to do that because this page is just giving me a hard time, and I'm not sure why. So I'm adding some die cuts here. I'm going through my stash. I keep them in a container that I pop out of the book, just in case I need them, you know, quickly. I like the mushroom. I'm just going to add that on here. And I feel like I need something else. And I really wanted to put some flowers down there, but I didn't really have anything that looked right. So now I'm just going through what I have in the box before I pull out the book. And then I didn't have anything, so I'm just looking through just to find something that pops out at me. And I do like the leaf, and I'm going to add that on the bottom there. I didn't have a flower to put down there, but I think that'll work. I'm going to put the leaf down here. And then I like this butterfly. So this butterfly I'm going to kind of pop off the edge there of the journal page. I have no problem with things popping out of the journal. It's supposed to be fun and whimsical, so I'm okay with that. And now I'm going to add some more gems to that butterfly. I'm going to use like yellow, some turquoise, and I think I'm going to use a pink too. And I'm just going to glue those to the center of the butterfly, just to make add a little sparkle. But these art journal spreads don't have to be beautiful. It's fun. You can just do it just to decompress from your day and just have fun, do whatever you want. Thanks for visiting today. Have a great day.